Hey Terry,
Hey,
hi.
how are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, that was a great intro. With the veterans. I don't know what it is, but it's something about veterans and their service that they give us, and it's just a special thing. And to see those people, and a lot of them we know, a lot of them and I know, to see them in their uniforms and stuff when they was actually serving us in our country, just amazing. It makes me humble, I think, in a lot of ways.
Yes.
So the show is tonight about veterans, and with Veterans Day coming up this weekend, I'm kind of really excited. I think there's two great guests that we have on here tonight, Terry. So I'm really excited to have them on and talk about some veterans things. Um, it, for you and Terry, is there anything special about veterans? You got veterans, your family and things like that.
Actually, my husband is a veteran. He served uh, in the Army for 4 years, and then he also did reserves as well. So, yes.
So that's really neat because it brings it home for you, the holidays and stuff like that, participating in those. It really brings you home when, you actually, know people and live with people and stuff that has served.
Right.
And it's really a humbling experience. And it's really hard for us as a society to do enough for them, really. Um, Especially the ones that have paid a sacrifice of injuries and things like that, for
Hmm.
sure.
Right. Mhm.
Um, so Terry, good to have you on the show tonight for sure. We've had a really good few days. The last few weeks, the weather has been amazing, has it not?
Yeah, it's been comfortable.
Yeah, it has really. I think I think it has been above normal in a lot of ways. And we've had some really nice events and really nice occasions in the last few weeks too. Um, maybe some of those we'll hit on real quick.
Yeah, we did. Not too long ago, had a couple ribbon cuttings. One in particular, we had right at the chamber office. One for Yolanda Taylor,
Mhm.
attorney. She actually is renting space
Mhm.
here in Rolesville, so we're excited to have her here. And that was a really nice turnout. And then in between, we had a couple other ones that were listed, and I think the business was up in Wake Forest. But I believe we that was a nice little turnout as well. So yeah,
Yeah, and I think who do you say turn was Yolanda? I believe it was Yolanda.
yeah,
Uh,
Yolanda.
Yeah, she's an attorney that does a lot of things. I think I recall her. She does state stuff and wheel stuff and all kinds of even civil things. With needs for civil liberties. I think she was planning to work with even the senior citizens. So it's
Right.
great. It's great to have her in town. Really, to open that business there and to serve the community for sure.
Yeah, we're glad to have her here. Like I said, she's got a variety of things that she, you know, is able to, do.
Mhm.
Like I said, from the wills to states. She does, like I said, a lot of legal justice things. So yeah, so again, we're just happy to have Yolanda here.
And that fall festival day, what we call the Fun Fest, it was a lot of activities going on that day for sure. I mean, it was a beautiful day. I think y'all hosted even a activity for kids, if I recall.
Yeah, we called that event the Business Boo Bash, where we took in the businesses in our strip mall, participated, our property management, prudent growth. They were also participated, and it was a really good event. And I looked at it as being a segue into the Fall Fest that you guys are holding. So I seen quite a few people that attended our event earlier and came over to the Fall Fest. But like I said, Pizza Hut, Home Yoga Studio, they participated. The Taekwondo, they
Mhm.
participated. Garchios, and these are all local businesses that are in that strip mall. So it was a really nice event, nice turnout. Mhm.
It was a nice turnout, and it was really a good turnout at the Fall Fest too, Fall Fun Fest. we kind of reported like 5,000 people. I don't know if we can prove that or not, but
Yeah, well, it seemed like it. I mean, I like I said, I ended up coming there later, probably around 1 o'clock, and I literally had to park in Ace Hardware's parking lot.
Mhm.
So just looking at the distance from there and then actually into the Fall Fest, it was a ton of people and good for the community. I mean, I think that when we have those kind of events, not only, do the vendors do well, but just the overall businesses, Food Line, I mean, I'm sure they did well, there and just all the local businesses. So I'm glad to see and people come from all over. It's not just Roseville residents. People come from all over. To our Fall Fest, and it's getting bigger every year.
It is.
I remember when I first was here, we had it over there. I call it the gully, but over there where Town Hall is located.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It was just in there and just had, I think it was a little bit outdoors and indoors. And now, we're blocking off streets. So
I
uh,
know. I
turned
know. It's
an
almost
event.
like a fair, ain't it, with the
It
street
is. It
like that.
is.
People, can't get around hardly.
Mhm.
So,
And, the kids, I didn't even get a chance to go over there, but there was a section over there where just the kids were doing events or playing
mhm,
games and things,
mhm,
so that
right.
was really nice.
You
But I
always
didn't
good.
get a chance to go over there.
Yeah, it's always fun to see the kids dressed up, and some big people dress up too. So I remember you was dressed up. You got a picture of your dress for the day, or
There might
no?
be somebody with a picture of me with a big hat on.
Yeah, yeah. So it's always fun to see, the costumes and stuff. The little
Mhm,
kids, they really a lot of them, have costumes you recognize in movies and stuff like that. But
mhm,
some of them is just imagination. And
mhm.
I think that the thing that you put together was kind of imagination thing. Is that right?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
or was
What,
that?
you already talking about my outfit that I
Yeah, was
just
that modeled? Was that modeled in any movie, anything, or more of imagination?
I think it was just I found a hat and I just liked the hat and I don't know, I think I was between Witchy Pooh and the Scarecrow. I don't know.
A combination, huh? A, com-
I don't know.
a combination. Yeah,
Um,
that's always really, and that's what it's about. It's about
yeah.
getting out, having fun,
Mhm.
and I think everybody really had a great day. It was a little bit hot to be,
Yeah,
late October. It was a little bit hot, but it's better to be hot than raining, I think.
right. And
So
just being part of the chamber and as I walked around to the vendors and things, I always ask them like how, how's their day going? Are they doing well? And I got so much positive feedback, so it really is
mhm,
like I said, a good event for the town, but it's also a good event for the vendors. They feel like, sometimes you go to these things, it's like, oh, what did that not, they're not having a very good day, but that's
yeah,
not the feedback that I've gotten at all these last couple of years. Very positive feedback, and they look forward to coming. It's like we're on that list now to say, hey, I've got to be at the Roseville Fall Fun Fest now. So
yeah, yeah. I think
mhm.
so, and I think it was like 130 vendors or something.
Yes, yes, it was a lot. So yeah.
Amazing. It's
Hmm.
amazing. And I think also the museum hosted some type of storytelling or history telling thing. So there's a lot of things going on that day. And then
Hmm.
we kind of finished up, the last few days with the election thing. And I want to appreciate and thank the chamber for hosting, one of the forums and stuff, and appreciate that. I think it's a really great community service to, do stuff like that. So appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm definitely glad to be of service for that and give everyone a platform. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
I think the main thing we're glad it's over with. So,
I'm sure you are. So,
so,
yes.
uh,
Mhm,
so really, really, I know both of the guests tonight really well,
mhm,
and it's that they are very exciting. I always enjoy talking to both of them, and to have them in here, just talking about their experience, talking about their history, as being the veteran and serving, and to talk about what it means to them and what Veterans Day means to them, coming up. I really, this is one show that I have been looking forward to for quite a while. Is the Veterans Show here.
Yes, with our first guest, Dan Alston, like I said, he served in the Army. He's a veteran. He served 17 years, and very big on uh, financial literacy, as far as being debt free, which is huge for him. And like I said, and all the things that he contributes, and also he's commissioner as well.
Mhm.
So we're very excited to have him on the show this evening.
He wears a lot of hats, don't he?
Yes, he does.
A lot of hats.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I've known Dan. Oh, I met through the chamber. I'm thinking, Terry. I believe the first time I met Dan was at one of the chamber events
Mhm.
because um, I believe Veronica used to have. Did she have her the business? I think their
Mhm.
financial business was through.
Right, the financial literacy and pathway to no debt. I think that's what they did a lot of focusing on that. So yes. Hmm.
Yeah, and I don't know when that was. Have you known Dan a long time?
No, not too long. Probably as long as you've known him, but he's definitely made an impact.
Yeah, yeah. And
So,
and there he comes. So I think everybody knows Dan T. Welcome, Dan. Any closing words for Dan, Terry? I know you're going to go and take a break, but is anything you want to say to Dan before I start talking to him?
well, no, just welcome, and I'm just looking forward to hear what you have to say today.
Uh-oh, get you off of mic, buddy. You on mic. You
Mike.
on mute.
Oh yeah.
There you go. There you go. Well,
Good
welcome,
evening.
Big Dan. Hope you're doing good.
Yes, sir. I
I haven't
am.
seen you in a long time. When's the last time I saw you? It's been 3 or 4 hours or something,
Correct.
something like that. But good seeing you. And really excited to have you on tonight and talk about veterans. I know from personal experience, that is a real passion of yours is veterans.
Yes,
It,
sir.
I love your two little daughters, and I know probably your family. I know it is. Your family is your number one passion, along with God. But when it comes to the veterans, that's a big passion too. It fits right in there.
Yes, sir. It is, sir.
So good to have you on here. And I think Dan, I think a lot of people know you, but it may be a few people watching that don't know you. If you would just start off by a little bio, a little self bio of who you are, Dan Alston. Maybe how long you've been in the community, and kind of what the community means to you, roles of community.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My name is Dan Tyrone Alston. Everybody call me Dan T for short. And I've been in the area. My wife and I been in Rolesville for 9 years now, almost 10 years come February. And we're coming from Fort Bragg, which is now known as Fort Liberty. I retired in 2013, and I spent 17 years in. And I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. For those wondering why I didn't complete those last 3 years, but I thank God for the opportunity to be able to serve in the military. I'm very proud of my service, but as well as all of the friends near and far that I have made and associates over the years. And I have learned that in the military that everyone is family, no matter the branches, because we can all talk and communicate with each other in a given place and time. Um, I'm married to my lovely wife, Major Veronica, Major retired, excuse me, Veronica Alston. We have two daughters, Olivia 10 and Lauren 6. And my oldest is Daniel, and he is serving in the United States Navy.
That's good.
He wanted to have a path of his own.
That's
Um, but,
good.
but what brought us to Rolesville is that we were looking to leave the Fort Bragg, Fort Liberty area. And my sister lives in Youngsville. So we wanted to be close to family because I'm originally a country boy raised in Enfield, North Carolina farming. So that put me close to home, but not exactly. So where I can drive there, but
Right.
not be at home, if that makes sense. And we fell in love with the area and we moved in the heritage. Had no idea that it was either Wake Forest or Roseville.
You got lucky.
Yes, yes. I do believe that because we love our town of Rolesville. And one of my things is selfless service, putting the needs above uh, of someone else above my own. Giving back has always been in my heart, and especially when it comes to veterans, because I met great members here since 2014. And Eugene Pageant is definitely one. I met him through the DAV. He was commander, and he gave me a chance to be a veteran service officer. So I serve under him, be able to learn the process, be able to be a better asset to our veterans. And now I'm just a liaison. I'm not certified no more. I led the DAV chapters, take care of that, and the Wake County Veteran Service Officers. They have more time to actually do that. But serving is in my heart. And that's what I saw what was missing from our town. And our town supports veterans. Rolesville loves veterans. It's a veteran-friendly town.
Right.
And I mean, and even the voters came out 2 years ago and elected me. So that shows proof that Rolesville loved veterans and gave me an opportunity to be able to be a voice for veterans and our community as a whole.
A good story though, Dan. It's so much you said I could, follow the family piece. I think in service, I saw over the weekend this movie, Top Gun thing,
Yes, sir.
and in that movie you could tell that the ones that serving together, they family, they
Yes, sir.
were family, and I think that means a lot. Um, but maybe a question would be, Dan, your service, serving with them, bonding, those type of things. Did it make any kind of impact on your life? I mean, is your life today kind of impacted from your service?
Yes, sir, it is. Those skill sets that I learned and I serve, my job when I first came in 1996 was a 13 Fox 5 sports specialist. And then I ended up making rank fast and then end up crossing over to become a warrant officer, a 131 Alpha field artillery targeting technician. And I had the pleasure of running into a couple of excellent leaders that saw a lot of things in me. And they always told me that a leader is not just a person that is judged by what he or she does, but what they encourage others to do. So it's okay to be the first at doing something because it takes a lot of courage to be able to step out to do things. And don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to not be who you are. Be who you are. Don't change that for nobody. And that has stuck with me throughout everything that I'm even doing now. And it's about building relationships to get things done. And I have used those skill sets since I've been in office to be able to have programs coming to town that I'm very excited about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just talking to you, I was trying to. Well, I was talking to Terry. I couldn't remember how long I've known you, but it's been a while.
Yes, sir.
And and I think just knowing you, I know your passion you have for the military and your passion you have for the veterans, and I know that you have no regret at all ever signing up to be serve our country. And but is there any regrets, anything that you would have done different, or you thought you would do different if you had to do it over again?
No, sir. No, sir. That question, I mean, a couple years ago, I had wondered, if I had went RTC right after high school, what my life would have been differently. But I think that this is the path that God had for me, is to come in as enlisted, to be able to appreciate going through the ranks and to be able to not just be someone giving orders, but someone also had to take the orders and execute. So I think that kind of molded me to who I am today.
Mm-hmm. One of the reasons, I invited you on the show to talk, Dan, it's all the work that's taking place, by you and, the town, for veterans and stuff. It's a lot of work that's going on. There's a lot of plans in the future for stuff too.
Yes, sir.
Maybe, maybe a lot of people don't know what is taking place. So if we call the show "What's Happening in Rolesville." So what's happening in Rolesville with veterans?
All righty. I want to first start out with giving credit where credit is due. And Matt Sarn, because you cannot do this thing by yourself, sir.
Right.
So I definitely have a strong team behind me. And Matt Sarn, retired Jerry Mangum, he has a passion for veterans just as well as I do. And I met him through Eugene at the DAV several years ago, about almost 8 years ago. And he said, let's start back up Coffee with a Veteran. So Coffee with a Veteran is started back, and Arise co-working community is gracious enough to let us have it. So the Coffee with a Veteran, the next one will be on 18 November. That's once a month. I'll try to have it at 0900 hours. Try to have it every third Saturday. Now, also, we have at IHOP in Nightdale what is called the Veterans Fellowship Breakfast. That's held every fourth Wednesday of the month, and that's at 9:30. Now, that's what we have started back up. Now, that's what's going on currently. Now, what's in the works is I'm working with an organization because I had a vision, and the people perish without vision. So I said, you know what is missing here in Rolesville? A veteran center. And I found an organization that want to come to town to be able to partner with Rolesville that's already operating, but just want to change locations and be able to serve as a veteran center for our community. And they should be coming here next year. And I'm very excited about that opportunity because a lot of veterans, and we do appreciate the small businesses that has helped us in the past to hold our Coffee with a Veteran, but we need a place to call home. Mm-hmm. And this organization is a veteran organization. So it's fit that it happens on that location. So we're excited about that. And plus the programs that I asked her if we could initiate, which is like a on Mondays, for example, and that's tentative. On Monday, it could be a mental health awareness, meaning a counselor come in and talk to us, meaning the veterans, because veterans will share his or her experiences with another veteran, sir, quicker than they will someone else.
Right.
And then Tuesdays can be financial literacy, talking about the benefits, things that you're receiving, but also how to use those, because getting out of debt is definitely important, especially you see that with today's economy, the way it is. And then on Wednesdays, I said, hey, maybe we can do something to where a veteran service officer come in to play and to help veterans with their claims. Thursdays can be something to where we're doing something physical, like a yoga classes and things of that nature, artwork. And then Friday is Fun Friday, which is I want to start Red Friday again. Remember everyone deployed and remember everyone that died. Right. So that's some of the things that is going on now.
Yeah. And Dan, I think you feel good that this is going to happen. You're just not talking about this. You're feeling good that it is going to happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And another program that I definitely feel great about is, and which because we didn't have several meetings about it, which is near and dear to my heart, is I taken Air Force Junior ROTC when I was in high school. And I want to give those same opportunities to our young men and women, because let's face it, not everyone is cut out for college immediately after high school. They're unsure what they want to do. So at least by them having some type of junior ROTC or military school within the high school, I think it would be an opportunity for them to learn about leadership, because sometimes leaders are made, not born, and you have to learn from those mistakes. So I think this is an opportunity for them. So I've been working hard to coordinate, and now had the last logistic meeting last Friday, exactly. So we're now looking at tentative, but it's pending approval from the United States Navy, and it will be called the Navy National Defense Cadet Corps. The board meets in January, so I will have a concrete answer then. But right now, there are no stumbling blocks, and we're very excited about that. Wake County supports it, and they helped Rolesville High put that initiative in, and that is going to happen. And we're looking at starting it, sir. You ready for this? 20, 24, 25.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. And it's a lot of hard work done around that. I see Terry's coming back, so that's a bad sign for us, Dan. She
That's fine,
if
sir.
she comes back, it's really we got to start wrapping it up. But really, I would say the vision is much bigger than that, and we don't have time to get into all of it. But I know Dan is even thinking about a med facility,
Yes, sir.
or something
office
in one of our new places like Walbrook or something where veterans have a veteran medical center or things like that. So the vision is big.
Yes, sir, and a recruiting office.
And a recruiting office, yeah. And one of the things that to do this, you have to we have to interconnect a lot with our state and federal officials and get to know them and show them the town and what we got to offer. And you've done an excellent job of that. You really have. You've done a really good job of being a liaison to veterans and representing us to all levels of government. I believe, Dan. So really, really great for that. So Terry, what do you think about this guy here? I believe you mute. I think you're on mute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. Sorry about that. I'm just a little blown away here. I just thought that first of all, I mean, Dan, your passion is just remarkable, and it's just definitely inspiring and uplifting. But just all the things that you want to bring here to the town of Rolesville is just awesome. I know that we have already been doing, like the coffees with the veterans and having the Veterans Day lunches and things like that. But it sounds like you are looking to take this to a whole different level, which is much needed here. So I'm so excited, especially, with my husband being a veteran as well. I think a lot of times, veterans don't always feel like they have the support. And with Rolesville, sometimes people look at it as being so far away, and to know that we are aspiring to bring those type of programs here to the area is just much needed, and just something that I definitely am looking forward to seeing them materialize here. So
yes, ma'am. Thank you. Can I leave everyone with one thing that's going on right now is Operation Greenlight. And Terry, you brought up a great point, because Operation Greenlight, it brings the veterans together, but it brings the community together, because it allows everyone to take part by shining that green light to let our veterans know that we love you, we support you, and we're with you. And these are the things that sometimes the veterans need to hear, because sometimes we feel like we're alone or have no one to confide in, or they may not understand those type of events that we may have encountered throughout our career or lifetime. So thank you for this opportunity. And as well as on Saturday, the 11th, on 11 at 11 a.m., we will be having our Veterans Day ceremony. That is with the Garden Club of America, as well as our town Parks and Rec, excuse me. And that everyone is invited that can come. You don't have to dress up, but it will be kind of nice informal event just to show our veterans the love and appreciation, and to let all of them know Happy Veterans Day.
Yeah, appreciate that a lot, Dan. I'm out of town this weekend, but you're going to represent us very well at Saturday, the 11 o'clock, and very excited about that. And continue the good work. I think we could talk about this another 30 minutes easily, don't you, Dan?
I have a laundry list of things that I already had done, but I told you I was going to do the highlight pieces that are tangible right now. That's going to be coming, and I feel happy that especially the young adults.
Right. And and we'll tell a little secret here, Dan, if you want a little
Right.
secret to everybody.
What's up?
I said we'll tell a little secret to everybody. You know, when we went into this thing, we went in and said we would just throw seeds everywhere.
Oh, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And see what would come up, and that's kind of
Mhm.
what we've done. And we just throw seeds out there. Some of them will take root.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it.
Thank
Yes,
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for coming on the show. And
Yes,
and
sir.
you can hang around, come back at the end. We'll do a closing.
Yes, sir. Will do.
Thank you. Well, that was great, Terry. I know you've known Dane a long time. I mean, you can talk to that guy for hours.
Yeah, like I said, I was just kind of blown away, like for all the things that he is trying to do for the veterans here in the area. And then he had mentioned about Operation Green Light, and I just wanted to show that I've got my little green
Yeah.
light here. I actually got it over in Rolesville, Ace Hardware. They
Mhm.
have was $4. So if you haven't gotten it, you can go there and get them. $4. You know,
Let's get them up there.
that's
'Cause
right.
I think the time is kind of expiring, and it's just really a way to show appreciation for the veterans when they come by and
Right.
see that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
in your neighborhood, guys, people live next door. Your husband,
Mm-hmm.
everybody that's
Yeah.
actually served before. So,
Yeah, I had to get a new one this because
well, Terry, one of the things I was kind of thinking about when I was putting this show together a few months ago was, when you think about veterans, a lot of times you see males, it's
Mhm.
men veterans,
Mhm.
it's really highlighted, all the services highlighted with men veterans. But there's more to it than men. There's actually women veterans, and they don't sometimes get the attention that male veterans do, and it's just maybe my perception, or it may be true. I don't know, but that's one of the things I've been talking to Dan about. As we go on with veteran support here in Rolesville, we got to figure out how to do both men and women, and the events that we see, the coffee thing. There's a few women there, but it's mostly men. And so that's one of the things I want to bring Natasha on, because she is a woman veteran that has served our country very well, and maybe give us a good perspective of it from that view.
Oh, yes, and I'm excited to have Natasha on this evening as well. Like she had mentioned, she's um, was served in the Army for 5 years, and
There
I
you go.
also am on the board of directors with the chamber with Natasha, and she's definitely of great service there as well. So I'm interested or happy to have her on today.
I am too. I am too. So it's very exciting, and there she is. Hey there.
Hi.
Yeah, I saw your picture there. That's amazing.
It feels like so long ago.
I know. I know.
Wait,
It was. Terry dropped off, but she'll be back. Thank you for coming on, Natasha. I really appreciate that. And you know, um, you're a veteran, and I don't know if your perspective is the same as Dan's, for example. But I kind of want to kind of talk about you, and your perspective on veterans. Veterans Day coming up. But first, kind of give a bio. Who is Natasha? Why are you here in Rolesville? What brought you here? What are you doing here? Do you like here? What's the deal? Kind of introduce. A lot of people know you, but everybody watching may not know you.
Oh, absolutely. So I literally came here from all the way across from the U.S. The military actually united my husband and I, and that's how I ended up here. So just a little bit about myself. Born and raised in Louisiana, in a little town called Church Point, one street, very similar to Roseville, maybe a little bit bigger, but very much so small town feel. Born and raised there, several brothers and sisters, middle child, and ended up in the military at the ripe age of 17. I think I was 17 in that picture where I'm in uniform, which is very rare. My mom actually had to sign a waiver for me to go in because I was not technically of age right? I was still technically a minor, but I graduated high school early.
Right.
And I wanted to make a way for myself to where I've always been very independent and just had a force of my own. So I knew at a young age that the world was big and I wanted to see the world. And I knew I wasn't meant to stay in the little small town of Church Point. So at 17, I graduated high school. Mom signed the waiver for me to go into the military 1 week, not even a full week. I graduated on Thursday night. I was in basic training by that next Monday. It was really quick and swift, and ended up serving 5 years in the military. My intent on going in was for the education money and to serve my country. But I grew up with a family who education was very important. My mom was an educator, and I knew I wanted to go to college. I just didn't want to burden anyone with the finances that's required to go to college. So I said I would do it on my own. So that was the initial reason for going in. The plan was to go in 3 years and then get out and move on with my life. Well, I went in, and I did not just enlist once, I re-enlisted. While being in the military, I met my husband. I met him in training. We trained in Fort Lee. We were stationed in South Carolina as well, Fort Jackson. And then my husband ended up deploying to Korea right after our training. I ended up serving most of my time in Fort Hood. I was in the CAV, Alpha Company, 13th Signal, or Communication Department. I was a 92 Alpha in the military. Basically, what that means, my job was to assist the company captain with memos and things of that nature. And then my job transitioned over to more clerical work where I was working at the motor pool. Motor pool is kind of an area where you have all of your soldiers doing day-to-day things. And I was in a communications company. So the guys that I worked with, they were the ones who ensured that our soldiers could communicate when they were out in the field. So I was basically in a company where it was IT soldiers. So I did that for 5 years, ended up re-enlisting, like I said, and then ended up getting out. My husband was hurt 3 years in, he was hurt in Korea. So he had to get out early because of his injury. But I re-enlisted and I stayed another couple of years. How did I end up here, Mayor? Well, my husband's from North Carolina, small town, Kenansville, Duplin County, close to the beach.
Yeah, Keenan's, yeah.
Yeah, so we ended up coming here because I didn't necessarily want to live in Louisiana. So we ended up coming here. I ended up getting out of the military in 2002 and started working for a bank. So completely different turn of events. Did not expect to get into banking after the military, but I was able to complete my education while I was serving. I was able to get 2 degrees, one while serving, and then I completed my undergrad once I was out of the military. But definitely attribute my military service as being the basis of my foundation.
Yeah, I think describing the 2 degrees and all that. I think the answer to this question is pretty obvious. Serving in the military, serving the country, you can't do anything more important than that. I have to say that's probably the most important thing you can do. But really, serving also impacted your life, and your life is probably different from your service. Is that true to say? Did it make a positive impact on you? Did it a positive impact on your life?
Absolutely. It gave me a foundation, kind of like what Dan was saying earlier. There's nothing like it. It gives you structure. It gives you a solid foundation. You understand servitude. You understand what it is to to think of something greater than yourself. So your whole outlook changes. So absolutely, it was the best thing I've done, and I would do it again. I met my husband, and we have
Right.
kids now, and we live here in the sweet town of Rolesville. So absolutely was positive.
Right. So it doesn't sound like you have any regrets for the military, joining the military, anything like that. Is any regrets around, your service?
No, I don't have any regrets. I do have some what ifs while serving. Again, I worked along a lot of IT folks who were certified with, all these Six Sigmas, all these certifications that the military paid for. And the one thing I wish I would have done is completed those certifications while I was in. You don't understand the significance of those things, of having those things as a civilian when you're in the military. But that's one thing. If I had to do something different, I would have added those certifications in while I was serving.
Gotcha. Let's talk a little bit about, women and veterans. I kind of described earlier, when I see veterans and these veteran parades and stuff like that, it's looks like it's mostly geared to men and stuff. Do you feel like, as a woman veteran, that you get the same level of appreciation, the same level of recognition and that kind of thing?
So I don't, but I don't take it to heart. It's just that I think most of the time men are at the forefront when it comes to serving the country. I get a lot of surprised looks when, my husband pulls out his card and he says he's a veteran. And when he says my wife is also a veteran, you get the, oh yeah, she is. So, but it's nothing. I don't hold it against anyone. I just think the way women serve and the way they represent themselves as veterans is very different. Not only that, but just I looked at some statistics, and literally we are just a tiny part of society as far as veterans. 14% of society are veterans. So 14% of the people are veterans who are, I guess, in the US. Out of the 14% that are veterans, can you guess how many of those veterans are females? If you had to guess, out of the 14%.
I would say 25%, maybe one out of every four. Is that
1.4% out of that 14%
wow,
are women.
Wow,
So
that's one out of 25 or something like that.
Yeah, it's a small number. So if you put that in perspective, kind of makes sense that you don't see as many women. And also I feel like women veterans typically go back to taking care of everyone, once they get out of the military. They're usually mothers or they're sisters. It's the motherly instinct. It's putting everyone else before you. So I think that's also
kind of back of your mind for one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you was listening to Dan. We're trying to do a lot of things for appreciation and show support for veterans and stuff like that. And his wife Veronica, served, and is there a lot of women in Rolesville? You, Veronica, and others that are military veterans. In other words, one of the things I challenged Dan with, and I think he agrees, and we'll tie it hip with is we can't overlook women veterans when we kind of do the town appreciation for stuff. So and I don't know, is there a large group of veteran women? If you say it's 1 in 25, then if it's 250 veteran, men, it's probably but 10 women. Do you have is there any type of veterans group in Rolesville for women that y'all get together and women veterans get together and discuss things?
There's not, but that's something that should change. I know there's a larger group that I am a part of. I think they are so they're the Women Veterans 855. They are not local in Roseville. They usually support me if there's an event that I have going on, like when we do the Veterans Lunch on, you'll see representation from that group. But as far as a local group, there's not a local group, but that maybe that should change. I'll have to get with Dan and Veronica and see if there's something we could do to make sure that we're representing the women of Roseville, because I do know there are lots of women veterans. Actually, Annette, who's big in the town of Roseville, Greenway, Greenway Beer
Yeah.
and Wine, she is a veteran.
Mhm.
So we're here. We just have to
Mhm.
make ourselves known so that we can get other women veterans to come out
Mhm.
and show support and get what we need.
Yeah, I think so. And they're all involved. Some of the events I've gone to with Dan and all. And there's a lady out of Apex. I don't recall her name, but she's a big leader. She's like Dan, big promoter and talking and helping veterans. So I see it some on the leadership side, but maybe not as many participants.
Yeah.
We really need to make sure that we stay fair about that. Good comments and good discussion with Veterans Day coming up. Dan's and the Garden Club. The Garden Club's been doing this thing ever since I can remember. Our former Mayor Frank Eagles was very involved in getting them started and participating. He was a veteran, and we've kind of continued that. Veterans Day, what does that mean to you, Natasha?
For me, it's a time to reflect and understand that this world is greater than myself, and that there are people sacrificing every day to make sure that we have the freedoms that we have. And it's just a day to take a step back and remember the sacrifices of those who were before me and the sacrifices of those that will come after me, and just to say thank you. I get thanked for my service, but I am super grateful for those who fought ahead of me, who really made the ultimate sacrifice. So that's what Veterans Day means to me.
Yeah, and that's to me. I'm not a veteran, so to me, I'm humbled to show appreciation for the ones that has, like you and Dan and many others that display the hats and things like that. But for you, I really hope that we do justice to folks. What did you say the percentage of overall veterans was?
14%
14%.
are
So
veterans, and 1.4% of those veterans are women.
So, it's important for me, especially here in Rolesville, is that 86% of people, that did not serve really, show appreciation for you that did. And cause really that's what would make the Veterans Day special, I think, is for us to do that in appreciation for you.
Thank you so much, Mayor. I agree.
Terry, what a great couple of guests we had.
Yes. Uh, Natasha, you had said something in your comments about taking care of everyone else. And I think especially for our veteran women's, we definitely need to make sure that we have your own self-care. So some of the programs that Dan was talking about bringing, I'm sure that it definitely will incorporate that, because again, just as a woman, we that is our nature to take care of everyone else, and sometimes we lose sight of not taking care of ourselves. So again, I definitely thank you for your service, all that you do, not just um, uh, for your family, but also for the chamber. I think people give you that surprise look, Natasha, because you're small in stature, but you are definitely a force to be reckoned with. So again, again, I thank you for everything that you do. For the town of Roseville.
Mhm.
Thank you,
Very
Terry.
much so. And yeah, and all veterans too. I mean, on this day, we just be thankful for that 14% that Natasha is talking about there for sure.
Mhm.
Great. Thank you for coming in. And if you would hang around, Terry and I may have some things kind of coming up, events and stuff. But I want to bring you and Dan back at the end if y'all will hang around and close us out tonight into
Sure.
Veterans Weekend. So what a great show, Terry. And there is some more events going on
Mhm.
coming up. You want to start it off, or you want me to start it off?
Yeah, I can get it started here. So as far as for like the chamber events that we have coming up, first one that I'm showing here is Heavenly Homes. They are actually basically having a luncheon, inviting everyone. It's a free event. It's scheduled for November 16th, and it is also uh, to bring awareness to Alzheimer's event. So again, the event is free. However, they are accepting donations so that they can again bring awareness to a needed cause. So
Mhm.
that's one event that we have, and then we have the I think Dan had already mentioned it, Coffee with the Veterans. That's on November 18th. That is also open to the public as well. We have ribbon cutting coming up. Allstate. I believe Allstate has been in the area for a while now. So again, we're excited to be doing a ribbon cutting for them November 30th. And then we've got the Christmas parade that is scheduled for December 3rd. That is coming along quite nicely. As you know, Mayor, people come from all over to come to our Christmas parade. Is one that is sought at and definitely on people's calendars to come to. The floats, they're selling fast. So definitely get in touch with the local Roseville Chamber of Commerce if you're interested in having a float this year. And then we've also got the Breakfast with Santa. This is an event that people look forward to as well, and that's going to be scheduled for Saturday, December 10th. So those
Exactly.
are the Saturday, December 10th.
Exactly. And when I talk to people, outside the community and around, about the community, there's really three events that comes to mind annually that we do. The fireworks show, the Fall Fun Fest, and the Christmas parade. And
Hmm.
really, the Christmas parade has the chamber has always done a fantastic job with the Christmas parade. I mean, for a town our size, I can almost put our Christmas parade up against anybody. Yeah, I mean, it's just so well ran and it's so well actually attended and everything too.
And I think when I come to the Christmas parade here in Roseville, it really brings that charm, that hometown feel. You've got people lined up on both sides of the streets with their chairs, and I mean it's just a great time. And like I said, if you're looking for that hometown feel for parades, Roseville is definitely the place for it for our Christmas parade. It is awesome.
And I always tell people, remember, it's the last Sunday. I mean, it's the first Sunday in
Hmm.
December.
Yes.
It's always
Yep.
that. And
Yep.
I'm very excited. Some of these towns, have elected to go different directions and stuff with Christmas parades, but I certainly want to give gratitude to my appreciation to the chamber for continuing to do something that you guys does really great year after year. So
Well, thank you. And like we said, we it's a big task, but we enjoy putting it on. And like I said, the town looks forward to it. The residents look forward, and also the surrounding community. So, again, we're looking to do our thing again this year.
yeah, yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. So good job there. Um, really, I think the murals was fantastic. you want to cover that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that the town has probably been, putting on their list of trying to bring some, I guess, uh, culturally to the town of Roseville.
Right.
And I'm not sure where the next one is located at. I think it's at the. Can you tell
This
me
was
exactly this? This is on. I know it's at Town Hall, but there's another one, the slide with the another mural with the airplanes.
yeah, that's
Um,
in the park.
is
See,
that in the park? Okay, okay. Okay. All right. Then now, first, because when I first saw it, I didn't know. Yeah, but do you? I don't know who was the creator of that, but I know it's something that the town had been working to do, and they did an awesome job. And I think that's the ceremony where they had the official revealing of it. So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yes.
It's been a lot. It's been amazing that the positive responses has been to this.
Mhm.
It's really, it really is. And I think it's led the town to think about, maybe do more of them. Maybe
Yeah.
see some other places that we can do them.
Yeah, and again, I think this, just bringing that cultural feel. Like I go to Charlotte, and there's murals everywhere, and so I love going there to see the creativity, in the community, in the city, and so I love it. So to bring that to Roseville is great. So I'm looking forward to seeing more as well. And also, making sure that they're always look as being diversity and inclusiveness as well. So I'm looking forward.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, okay. They popped up the congratulations there, Terry.
Yeah, I think that was on our Facebook the other day. And again, just want to congratulate to everyone having a successful campaign, and like I said, to the incoming candidates for Commissioner Linwood Long and Michael Paul. Again, you all ran a successful race, and I'm excited to see, what they will be contributing as the town moves forward. So great.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward, from my perspective to continue. Really, I think the chamber. I don't think we could be the town. We could be halfway as successful we are without a great relationship with the chamber for sure. And the chamber does, a great job. Y'all got a tremendous amount of great leadership over there. But you guys got election coming up too, though, don't you?
Yes, we do. We're in the process of our new, we're sending out our ballots, and we've got some openings for our board as well. But, we're always recruiting for ambassadors. We this one of the things that we did this year was make sure that we did that. We called it what's happening, or have you seen your chamber? And so we kind of buddied up and went to various businesses, and we're still continuing that, and we'll probably step it up a little bit more as to some other things about how we can continue that process. But we love, being able to partner with the town. I feel like, over the last few years, we've built a great relationship with you guys, and I look forward to continuing that with you guys.
Yeah, and I I I just want to give the utmost appreciation. You didn't say it, but Terry, you served most of 2023, as a chair,
Mhm.
and did that without staff executive help, and it's just amazing. I would not want to do that. I would not want to do that. I would not want to be mayor without a town manager. So it's amazing what you got, and y'all had a great year if you look back, and just want to appreciate and thank you for serving, and excited about the future. One of the things I tell people about Rolesville, it's a lot more to come. And
Mhm.
when you think about the chamber, you think about Walbrook, and you think about the corner cobblestone village coming. Several businesses, buildings that are coming. The future for the Roseville Chamber and you guys are just the start. I mean, it's just gonna be so much more numbers, in the future, that it's going to be amazing. Got
And I
amazing
just,
bed you
yeah,
got.
Yeah, and I just encourage, all businesses, like to, look into our chamber. We are an extension of your business, and that's what we serve, So if you got something going on with your business, you want to help, get it out, get the word out. Again, that's what we're here for. I think people don't. I don't know if they don't understand the mission of what the chamber does, but again, we are an extension of your business. And so when someone is talking about, do you know of uh, uh, a CPA
Yeah.
in the area? They say, hey, we know Terry Simmons, or if you are looking for primary care, well, we got Confinity Health. So again, we want to be able to let people know that you are here in the area, or in the vicinity. So again, we want to be an extension so that we can get your name out there, so that you can get customers coming to your businesses. And so again, that is what we do. So if you're
Yeah.
looking for that extension, please reach out
Yeah.
to the chamber.
Well, thank you again, because we couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much. We got our two honored guests back. So uh, Terry, we have ran this thing in overtime. We had 8:01 here, but that it happens every once in a while. So real quick, thank y'all for hanging on. Thank y'all for coming
Sure.
back. Dan, Natasha, any closing words? Anything you want to leave the veteran community with, or either the 86% of other people that supports the veterans? Anything you guys
Um,
leave the community with?
I have just one point I wanted to make. If there are any women veterans out there and you are struggling, you need help, you want counseling, there is a number you can call. It should be shown here, 855 VA Women, VAWOMEN. So if you have any needs at all, please call that number and you will have a dedicated person there to help get you through whatever it is you need. And thank you for having me.
I enjoyed having you. I enjoyed having you. Anything from you, Dan? You good?
Yes, thank you for having me, sir, as well. Terry, happy Veterans Day to all my veterans. And don't forget, we have a Roseville's veteran group,
That's
Facebook
right.
group. It's a private group, so type it in exactly how you see it inside the link. And Natasha, I'm looking forward to next year, because that veteran center wants to serve a lot of our women as
Right.
well as homeless veterans. So I'm very excited about them coming next year.
Me
Right.
too. Thank you so much, Dan.
Yeah, and thank you guys. Y'all been great guests, and Terry, you've been a great host. I
Yes,
Thank
appreciate you
you.
hosting it with me. Now that you won't have to be president of the chamber in 24, maybe you can co-host every show with me. We can make it a monthly thing. But great, I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much for that. You've done a great job. It's always good to have you on, and thank Dan and Natasha. And I think I've done about 25 of these now. We got one more scheduled for this year, and I think I've done well over 25. And probably if I ever do a greatest hits of the top 10 or something, I think this show would definitely make that list. So y'all have done a great job. Appreciate y'all coming on so much, so much. So thank you. Close us out, Terry.
All right. Well, thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.
thank you.
Thank you guys.
Okay, bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
Happy Veterans Day.
Happy
Yeah.
Veterans
Happy
Day.
Veterans Day.